It's a tale of two testimonies as the GOP points out the double standard between Hunter Biden's now scuttled closed-door hearing and past testimony from former President Trump's family. Our next guest is calling out the double standard is Congressman Lance Gooden, and he joins us now. Congressman, great to see you this morning.
Thanks for having me.
How do we explain this? How do we explain Donald Trump Jr. going into closed doors for 40 hours and Hunter saying no?
Yeah, simply two tiers of justice in this nation. I was in that deposition hearing room this week. We were all there, Democrats and Republicans, members of House Oversight and House Judiciary, waiting for Hunter Biden, wondering where he was. Where did he show up? On the front steps or just outside the front steps of the Capitol to do his own press charade. And questions now that we're asking are, did Joe Biden know about this obstruction of congressional oversight? These are questions that are going to be more difficult for him to answer, especially if we hold him in contempt of Congress, which I do believe we will. At that point, what's Merrick Garland going to do? You know, he has prosecuted those who defied subpoenas of the January 6th Commission. Remember, Steve Bannon was prosecuted, and quite aggressively, in fact. And so what's Merrick Garland going to do if we hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress for refusing to testify? But all this business about I'll do it in public, but I won't do it behind closed doors. Donald Trump sat behind closed doors. Jared Kushner has sat behind closed doors. The Democrats have been following precedent with respect to behind closed doors depositions. That's all we're doing here. We'll give him his day in the public hearing after we get through this first part. It's not up to Hunter Biden to dictate how we perform congressional oversight, which is a right given to us by the Constitution.
Yeah, a couple points of clarification. Many people wonder, why do it behind closed doors? Have it open for the public. The reason to do something behind closed doors is to follow a protocol of a deposition with an examiner with a coherent line of questioning. If it's done right there in the committee room, it's a circus, it's a show.
I get 5 minutes to talk. Exactly. The Democrat gets 5 minutes. We go back and forth.
And people make speeches,
it's
they don't ask questions.
That's right.
And so the point is, there's a useful purpose to have it behind closed doors, and to your point, it's been done over and over again, as has the contempt of Congress point. So Hunter Biden seems to have clearly committed the crime of contempt of Congress. Tell us the process that you guys go through in holding him in contempt of Congress.
Well, since that actually happened earlier in this week, I believe perhaps it was Wednesday, it's Saturday now, the days run together. Since that happened, we have come together as the full House chamber, and we've actually voted to open a formal impeachment inquiry. And if you recall, one of the criticisms we made, myself included, against Nancy Pelosi the last time she impeached Donald Trump was she just said, hey, we're going to have this. We're not going to open up a formal inquiry. We're not going to vote on it as a full House chamber. And that happened this week. And so I was happy that we got that vote. I'm happy that it's now official because it puts some teeth into these subpoenas. It says that the United States House of Representatives is fully behind and endorses this impeachment inquiry. And so as we move forward, I suspect we'll give him one more shot to actually comply with a subpoena. But at that point, since we've opened this inquiry, we're going to move forward with contempt of Congress proceedings if he chooses to thumb his...
So you think you'll give him one more shot to show up to this deposition under a new subpoena? I had...
that wouldn't surprise me.
I had law professor, Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley on the Will Cain podcast this weekend, and he said to me, of all his options available, he chose the worst. He could have showed up and just invoked the Fifth Amendment. He could have done anything except what he did, which is stand outside, not the House side, because the Sergeant of Arms could have come over and grabbed him, physically grabbed him, but the Senate side to hold his own private press conference.
And if you look at what the White House press secretary said, she said that Joe Biden was aware of what he was going to say. She didn't come out and say Joe Biden was aware of what he was going to do, because what he did was be in contempt of Congress. So if the president was aware that his son was going to defy a rightful subpoena, then that means that the president was then involved in obstruction of Congress as well. So they're going to be real careful with what they say.
So real quick, we'll end this where we began. Even if you hold Hunter in contempt of Congress, you then have to turn it over to the Attorney General to see if he doesn't also illustrate two systems of justice. Because, for example, with Steve Bannon, they were happy to prosecute contempt of Congress. Do you think Merrick Garland would prosecute contempt of Congress against Hunter Biden?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Merrick Garland will put his money where his mouth is if we give him that opportunity. He's shown that he is interested in perpetuating this idea that there are not two tiers of justice. I believe that there are. I believe that overall this Justice Department has shown that. But Merrick Garland is going to be in a really bad spot if Hunter does not comply with whatever second chance we may or may not give him. So let's see what happens. But I suspect that he'll be in a bad position thanks to Hunter Biden if he continues down this route.
So the news is you're going to give him a second chance. Going to give Hunter one more chance.
It's not totally up to me, but I predict that happens.
All right. And then if he doesn't show up again, then We'll find out if Merrick Garland prosecutes contempt of Congress. Congressman, great to see you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.